from the Scottish Premier League, the Old Firm. Celtic and Rangers tomorrow, the Old Firm Derby Week on ESPN.
And you're very welcome indeed to Celtic Park in Glasgow for the Old Firm meeting of Celtic and Rangers. And even the players know all about the atmosphere in this one. This is a special game. All you have to do is just listen to the players and see how much they appreciate what this particular game means.
From my point of view, is the most exciting game I've ever played in my life, because I mean, the city in that game is just split up in two parts. It's unbelievable atmosphere. You can really touch with your hands. The atmosphere is so full of tension and full of really strange situation. It's so good. I mean, I think for a footballer it's great when you go inside that kind of games, because you try to do your best, and if you win, it's unbelievable. I mean, we know that the fans are crazy about that atmosphere, and that's very good. I think that every player, I think they're looking for this kind of game, because they make you strong and they make you feel very, very better.
And join Derek Ray and myself. We'll bring you the lineups. We'll bring you all of the action. It's the Old Firm game. Celtic versus Rangers.
The superstars of the ATP head to the Great North for the Tennis Masters Series Canada. Led by Leighton Hewitt, Gustavo Kuerten, Juan Carlos Ferraro, Andre Agassi, and Pete Sampras. The Masters Series resumes from Toronto. The Tennis Masters Series Canada, beginning July 29th on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
ESPN takes you inside the lives of today's athletes every week on The Life.
Revisit the classic matches and legendary events that have shaped the sporting world. Whether an instant replay of a recent cracker or the profile of a legend, ESPN traces the legacy of sport throughout time. The heroes, the history, the classics. ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Great golf action all month long on ESPN.
We're coming to you from Celtic Park, and the two teams are about to make their way out onto the pitch. It's the first Old Firm contest of the new SPL season. Both sides boasting perfect records in this campaign so far. Let's take a look at the lineups, beginning with Celtic. And Tommy, that's an unchanged team. It's the same side that defeated Hearts 4-2 last week.
Well, O'Neill will be delighted to have Larson back. He hasn't played in the last 4 Old Firm games, and Celtic with a very bad record of those games. They're looking for goals today. He could be the man up front with Sutton to do the job for them.
Once again, Bobby Petta against the start, wide on the left. The Dutchman, who's been in sparkling form of late. And the two attacking midfielders will be the Bulgarian Stilian Petrov and the man from Slovakia, Lubo Moravcik. Parkhead is alive with atmosphere. Celtic are ready. Likewise, Rangers. And they have one major injury to contend with. As we told you earlier, Jörg Alberts is out. He picked up an injury in midweek against Herzoge in the Champions League preliminary match.
Well, the question is, how does Barry Ferguson play when he's not there? There's a feeling that perhaps he's not as good as he should be. Billy Dodds, well, he's played in 30 games for Rangers. He hasn't been on a losing side yet, and Amoroso's going to be under a lot of pressure today, Derek.
Lorenzo Amoroso, the fiery captain of Rangers. And the referee is Stuart Dougal. This is his second Old Firm game. His previous match was at Ibrox in September 1998, a 0-0 draw. 18 degrees Celsius as we speak. Ideal playing conditions.
Hey, if it was snowing here, it'd be ideal playing conditions. It doesn't matter what the conditions are like in a situation like this, but when you see the pitch down there in the sunshine and the incredible atmosphere.
And it will be Celtic to get this match underway. These two teams with 85 championships between them. Celtic in green and white, Rangers in blue. And the big question is, how can Rangers cope without Jörg Alberts, without the hammer? Billy Dodds was looking for the free kick. Forward by Lubo Moravcik. Trying to release Bobby Petta. And Fernando Ricksen in on the challenge. The two Dutchmen locking horns right at the start.
Petta trying to make the cut inside, and when he does make the cut inside, Ricksen is already down underneath him. And if anything, Petta came over the top and he used his knee on the back of the head, and I think it's just going to be a corner kick. It is.
Lubo Moravcik with it. Amoroso couldn't clear, and the chance is on, and Chris Sutton has given Celtic a dream start. A goal inside a minute.
Well, it's one of the things we've talked about is the inability of Rangers to really play very well when they're under pressure on the defence, and Larsson feeds it into Sutton. He's almost on the byline, an incredible angle here. Larsson kind of muffs the shot, but Sutton puts the bulge in the old onion bag, and what a start for Celtic.
Rangers were appealing for offside, but it looked to me as though Billy Dodds, of all people, was back there on the goal line. Martin O'Neill, his first season at the Celtic helm. 1-0 to Celtic. What an astonishing opening.
Martin O'Neill couldn't have written a better script at the start of his first Old Firm game, could he? And especially the fact that he went out and he paid so much money for Sutton. Some people said he was crazy, but hey, maybe he's not as crazy. He's a wily old Northern Ireland man.
It's all green and white jubilation at the moment. Here's Bernd Konteman for Rangers, the Dutchman, signed during the close season for Feyenoord. He's missed out Ron Wallace. Stefan Mahe is there.
I think Konteman is another man who's going to come under a lot of pressure today, Derek. He really hasn't produced. And O'Neill, well, a good Gaelic player, won a McGrory Cup medal with St Malachy's, and Armagh, who were in the All-Ireland semi-final. His brother led them to the championship final in '77, and he went over to have an inspirational talk with him. Where is it? East Kilbride? That's the hotel he's living in.
East Kilbride, not too far away from here. 20 miles or so. Well, Lambert getting stuck in. At the hop of Celtic's industrious start to the season. So it gets a little bit ragged. Alan Stubbs is down. He was the man who got injured last week against Hearts.
Oh, there's a bit of pulling goes on here. You can see Stubbs go down, and then there's a little bit of pulling after that with Billy Dodd and Claudio Reyna in to plead his case.
It's almost a difficult match to referee this. And Stuart Dougal shows Billy Dodds the yellow card.
Billy Dodds here comes in very late, he comes in very low, and he comes in from the back. What What a record he has with Rangers. 30 games, 25 wins, 4 draws, and he has scored 23 goals. That is a way to start a career, isn't it?
Well, just never been on the losing side for Rangers in any competitive fixture. He's joining from Dundee United. Chris Sutton's goal is the difference. His 4th for Celtic. He's joining from Chelsea. It's confirmation of the Dogs booking. Tony Vidmar jumping up. Vidmar, the Australian, drafted in because of the injury to Alberts. Means that Gio van Bronckhorst is playing in midfield this afternoon. Claudio Reyna. Confronted by Stubbs. Reyna did well. And Stubbs lunging in on the American.
Oh, Stubbs gets a touch on the ball here. There's a little bit of holding, I think he won the ball. He may have cut Reyna down after, but he got a touch on the ball before he cut Reyna down, unless the referee is saying that he fouled him with that little bit of a tug on the arm beforehand. He certainly didn't foul him for my money with the tackle.
Giovanni van Bronckhorst is in position. Contaman has gone up. Amaruso is there as well, being marked by Chris Sutton. Van Bronckhorst and Billy Dodds. Goodness gracious me, right across the face of the goal.
That should have been number 24. Watch how wide open he is. He slips in on the back post. Look at that. The net is empty and he puts it. It was more difficult to put it where he did. All he has to do is knock the ball down, really, and he scores. Keeper's badly at fault there, Derek. Found himself in no man's land and there was just no way back to it.
6 goals for Billy Dodds this season. Top scorer in the Bank of Scotland SPL. And Rick Larsson. And a link up with Moravcik. Stilian Petrov just behind. And Paul Lambert. Jackie McNamara.
Oh, Jackie got done. Jackie got clattered.
And another test for referee Stuart Dougal. As Neil McCann crashed into Jackie McNamara. The 2 Scotland players together, both named by Craig Brown in the squad to face Latvia next week.
That was one thing that Brown was afraid of, that there would be casualties in this game, and if it keeps going on like that, there will be. Look at that foot go in there. He caught him with that trailing foot. That was a nasty tackle. That was a cynical tackle, Derek.
And a booking for Neil McCann.
Took the referee a long time, didn't it?
Stuart Dougal not satisfied. Asking for the free kick to be taken again. Stuart Dougal was the last referee to in fact send off a Rangers player. It was Gio van Bronckhorst against Dundee last season. Moravcik with it. Away by van Bronckhorst. Here's Peta. Trying to show Rickson a clean pair of heels. A shuffle by Peta. Seems to be in the mood again. And appeals for the corner kick. It's given.
Well, you go back to that first goal. Peta was the main architect. O'Neill would love to have him ramble up and down that left wing, and when he cuts inside, he's causing all kinds of problems for Rickson.
Celtic being spurred on by this huge crowd. Moravcik! And it's a second goal. It's Stilian Petrov.
Once again, the set piece, the corner kick. We talked about Peta setting things up, and look at that, comes bracing through there. Petrov, nobody picked him up at all. Not a Rangers man. There's 3, 4, 5 of them standing looking. Nice little run there towards the back post by Valgren. He takes a couple of players with him, and then this man just comes bursting down the middle. Rickson is badly at fault, and O'Neill is jubilant.
Stilian Petrov with his second goal of the season. Remember, he scored against Motherwell earlier. Only managed 1 his maiden campaign with Celtic, and this is astonishing stuff. And Martin O'Neill knows it.
Well, Martin O'Neill's really on a hiding to nothing here today, isn't he? If he does get a win, everybody will say, oh, this is a brilliant Celtic team.
Dekan Bukat frantically trying to reorganise Rangers here.
But the question is, does O'Neill get his team to stand up to the pressure for the rest of the season? I mean, this is just one game of the season, and I know to many Celtic fans, this is the season. but it's all about winning the championship, isn't it? Not about winning the one game.
Rod Wallace. Shadowed by Mahe. Good play by Wallace. Andy O'Reilly just behind him. Billy Dodds takes it wide. Corner kick off Alan Stubbs. Well, he's not panicking yet, Dick Advocat. A long way to go.
Well, the general is certainly in a very nasty mood down there, isn't he?
So, calling for the ball to be played into him. And a few missiles being thrown onto the pitch over beside Van Bronckhorst and that corner.
I think he broke his flag. I'm not sure how he did that. I think he's going around looking for a few nails to tack it together, Derek. How did he break the flag?
Here Van Bronckhorst lending a helping hand. Hugh Dallas there is the fourth official. Martin Doran, the far side referee's assistant, with the flag problem. Lowered hard by Van Bronckhorst, and away by Henrik Larsson.
Oh, it looked like the opportunity was on again for Rangers to stick the ball in the net as that ball came across from the corner kick, Derek.
Dismissed out Vidmar. Here they come again. Appeals for a penalty, mostly from the Rangers fans. It's down wet, Neil McCann. The pace is frenetic.
Sutton got clattered again.
Sends it against Barry Ferguson.
Well, Ferguson's going to have his hands full today because the big hammer is not out there to do a lot of the hard work alongside of him, and they've proved to be a good duo, himself and Albert. You see him coming in here, and you see him just punch out that right hand right across Sutton's face.
Alan Stubbs, the Englishman with the free kick. Larsson. And they look for Peta. He's posing problems for Fernando Rickson. Stuart Dougal says play on. Petrov. Once again Peta. Delightful touch. Moravcik teasing, tormenting. And back it comes! Paul Lambert! I have never seen anything quite like this at the start of an Old Firm game. 3-0 to Celtic.
Once again, Pet is causing all kinds of problems out on that left-hand side, but this ball is beautifully set up. Look at Lambert coming down the middle. The ball is laid back on a platter to him, and Lambert puts the ball to the back of the old onion bag. Brilliant setup. Nice little bit of a slip inside, but he recovered very well. Moravcik does, and Lambert just hits this one. He hits it a ton, Derek. What a goal by Lambert.
The Celtic captain in the 12th minute.
Well, we talked about Burchell having such a quick hat-trick during the week, Derek. What, 12, 14 and 15. Here we have 3 goals in the first 12 minutes. This must be as quick as Celtic have ever scored 3 goals against Rangers.
Well, I go back a long way with this fixture, and I can't remember ever 3 goals in such a short space of time at the start of a match.
When you consider that Celtic have failed to score in 6 of the last 10 games against Rangers, this is just incredible. I'll tell you one thing, the Cloud pub in Notland is rocking. Mick Maher and the boys down there are really having a time of their lives today, aren't they?
So now to all the Celtic and Rangers supporters clubs around the world. I'd like to mention as well Pat Close and all the boys, the Jock Stein Celtic Supporters Club in Melbourne, Australia. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here on ESPN. I'm sure you are, given the score.
Well, I'm sure the Celtic clubs are enjoying it. I'm not sure the Rangers are so happy at the moment. Well, I got the score wrong.
Well, that makes 2 of us.
And see, he got the score wrong too. He can't believe it. He's shell-shocked at the moment.
Marusso for Rangers, now Wallace. Penta's back defending. It's a real live wire. The former Ipswich Town player. McNamara. Celtic oozing confidence. Sutton, Petrov and Lambert with maybe the three-punch knockout.
They've taken 3 shots and the 3 of them have found the back of the net. It's a pretty good average.
Ben Conteman, the Dutchman playing in his first Old Firm match, looks shell-shocked to me.
Oh, that side of the defence has been absolutely dead. I mean, they've just been taken to the cleaner so many times. Peta has done a great job, and I know he hasn't scored any of the goals, but he has been involved in the setup of all 3 goals, Derek.
He set up 2 goals last week for Chris Sutton. His Hearts did Bobby Peta. Larson. There's Vidmar, the Australian. Now Gio van Bronckhorst. To run it through for Ron Wallace. Rangers' confidence really has taken a battering. Kick. Well, Lambert was the culprit.
Well, you figured Lambert was going to have an afternoon that he might remember in midfield. We didn't realise that he was going to score a goal. I figured with Albert's out of there that Lambert might have free rein in midfield, and himself and Barry Ferguson would be a tough battle. So see Conteman coming up, he looks a little shell-shocked.
And Bronkhorst with a free kick. Strong for Billy Dodds. Something through to Jonathan Gould. You're watching the Old Firm game here on ESPN. We're at Celtic Park, the Bank of Scotland SPL. And look at that. Sutton, Petrov and Lambert. And now Larsson's in. And he couldn't judge the spin of the ball.
Oh, he tried to be a little bit too fancy, Derek. He shouldn't be stepping over the ball in a situation like that. Look at, he's played on perfectly. And watch this little step over move trying to take the keeper out of it. Just take the ball and have a go when you get yourself in a situation like that. Forget about the fancied stuff.
Missed a penalty last week at Tynecastle, did Larsson.
But we talked about it in the earlier game. That Rangers defence is just not what it used to be, Derek.
Still minus Craig Moore, arguably their best defender last season. Arthur Newman still out. Conteman moving across from his central defensive position to take care of Chris Sutton. Barry Ferguson really hasn't been able to dictate the terms in these opening 16 minutes. Will be a Rangers free kick. Remember, you can see the SPL every week here on ESPN. Derek Ray, Tommy Smith here on the commentary box.
We can't promise it'll be like this every week, but it'll be there.
Larson. Telling with Sutton. Bad delivery. Trying to feed Jackie McNamara. Vidmar. Alan Stubbs is there, playing beside Josef Algarin, the Belgian. Stefan Mahe, the Frenchman. Lambert. He should have had a goal last week, did Paul Lambert. Should have given it to Henrik Larsson as he flicked it in following the Lambert drive. Conteman's header, thwarting Henrik Larsson, both former Feyenoord players in Holland. Wicked stop by Reina as he fouled Petrov. Petrov was saying this week he was much happier at Celtic these days. He was more than a bit homesick when he first joined the club last season. Alan Stubbs to flight it in. Sutton's layoff. Moravcik. Reina's having to play the role of extra defender.
They're bringing him back as an extra defender. Moravcik pushing down. Tried to stay with him that time.
Sutton. Amaruso. Couldn't get it away decisively. Billy Dodds. Here's Neil McCann. Bronkhorst. Reina now. Support coming from Barry Ferguson. This is better from Rangers. Vidmar, can he keep the attack alive?
Terrible attempt at a cross by Vidmar.
Starting for the first time in 5 matches, Tony Vidmar. Not surprisingly. Hope you'll join us next Saturday. Tommy and I will have Northern Ireland versus Malta for you live. That'll be the early hours of Sunday morning for those of you in Australasia. Big day of World Cup qualifying.
Martin O'Neill would have an interest in that, of course. The first Catholic to captain Northern Ireland in his playing days. Quite a star for Northern Ireland, the Celtic manager.
Away by Amarusa. Tony Vidmar completing the clearance. Martin O'Neill's team leading 3-0. If you've just joined us here on ESPN. Chris Sutton, Stilian Petrov, Paul Lambert with the goals. All inside 12 minutes. The score is sending shockwaves, I can tell you, all over Scotland. Mahe.
You wouldn't find too many people on the streets of Glasgow at this point.
Well, I imagine if you were to walk down Sucky Hall Street at this stage, you wouldn't see too much activity. About 5 miles from there. Parkhead, east end of the city. Rickson, and he was fouling Peta.
It looks like Rangers are favouring the very physical game, and it's costing them, Derek, because the referee is blowing this one very tight. You can see Rickson coming in. He just uses the elbow on the back of the head. And I'm not saying that they're not all fouls, but the referee is certainly not going to let anything go, and it's causing lots of problems for Rangers right now.
The goal doing the honours for Celtic. Sutton tangling with Contema. Lorenzo Amaruso. Vidmar. There's Valgarin. Tangling Van Bronckhorst. Took out McCann, I can tell you. He's about to make a substitution. Looks as though the Turkish international 2 guy might very well come in. A stoppage in play. Lambert and McCann are the 2 players down.
You see the 2 of them going for the ball here. Lambert puts the foot in. McCann got hit by Mahe coming across, and I think Lambert may even have gotten hit by his own man as well. Lambert, those things really hurt, don't they?
Here's the first goal once again.
Well, there's a man on the goal line. The question is he offside? I think he's offside. Yeah, he's offside.
The Rangers thought so too. Billy Dodds was the last man back.
Watch, there's only 1 man back, but that's the problem. The keeper has come out. Look at where he is. He's right in there. There's only 1 man. And as he moves to the ball, well, he was in an offside position. He may not have been offside when he hit the ball, but when the ball was played, he was in an offside position. He came back, and at the time that he hit the ball, he was level with 2 men. But I think you have to say that goal was offside. Nevertheless, it counts.
Now, this is interesting, Tommy. Rickson is being withdrawn, and 2 guy, the Turkish international, will come in, so it's a midfielder for a defender.
Well, you could have taken Rickson out of there after the first 10 minutes, and had he taken him out, it wouldn't be 3-0. But obviously he has to put a little bit more bite into the attack now, so I'm sure that he's just going to be playing as a withdrawn midfielder.
Doesn't look good for Paul Lambert. Remember, he got injured in the first Old Firm contest last season over at Ibrox. Injured in the process of giving away a penalty, had a few teeth knocked out. Yalbi is limbering up.
Martin O'Neill in there to make sure and check. Nowadays you don't see that too often. You don't see the manager come over to check with the injured players, but Martin O'Neill made sure he went over and found out what was going on with Lambert.
Here's Van Bronckhorst for Rangers. Wallace in the middle. Jonathan Gould was there to pounce on it.
Oh, it looked like for a moment he wasn't going to come out. I'm not sure what he was doing as this long through ball. Rod Wallace almost comes to it, and for some reason Jonathan Gould did not look at all happy on that ball dropping in there.
Peta. A few tricks up his sleeve today. The chopping challenge came in from Vidmar.
He's causing havoc out there, Peta. His speed and his ability to run with the ball. This time he cuts inside, and when he cuts inside, he just gets nailed.
But one of Celtic's most crucial players the early going this season, Paul Lambert, ever the battler, returns to the fray. Penta once more. Reina. Free kick. Reina appears to have moved back to right fullback.
I think they're going to change that around a lot, Derek. It'll be every man for himself the way things are going out there.
Reina forced back, but it appears in fact that Vidmar has changed wings. He's now on the right, and Bronckhorst here on the left. He has been playing left fullback in recent weeks.
Well, I think when you're 3-0 down, I think it's a case of every time you get the ball, everybody becomes a defender, and every time you get the ball on the attack, everybody becomes an attacker.
His control let him down, but Avcik runs into Vidmar. Celtic 3, Rangers 0. Breathtaking start to this Old Firm match. The 257th league meeting between these two old rivals. The Dutchman Van Bronckhorst. Lars did well to get the head flick in. Ron Wallace. Back it comes. Paddy Ferguson's drive. Gobbled up by Gould.
Gould does very well because it looks like he's a little bit off balance. It looks like he's heading in the wrong direction. The ball falls gently here for Rangers. Wallace with the first shot comes to Ferguson coming inside, and then Gould just swallowed it up. He did very well there because he was setting himself for the Rob Wallace shot.
And Bronckhorst. Alan Stubb positioned himself magnificently.
Well, Rangers have settled down quite a bit now, and they're starting to play the kind of football that Dick Gavitt wants them to. And we know they can play football. I mean, there's no question about it. Rangers are a much better football team than we saw in the first 12 minutes.
All even in the corner kicks department. Bronckhorst. And a wasted corner kick opportunity. Hope you'll join us live next Saturday for Germany versus Greece. Another crucial World Cup qualifying match. That'll be Sunday morning for those of you in Australia and New Zealand. Germany trying to make a new start under Rudi Völler. Now the coach, at least for this season. Christoph Daum will succeed him. Avcik is about to be booked, I think, by Stuart Dougal.
I don't think he can have too many complaints on that. Comes in from the back and just makes a mistake. There's no reason to do what he does here. Watch what happens here. He's coming in from the back. He makes an attempt to win the ball. Not even close to it.
So 3 yellow cards now. Avcik, the first Celtic booking. McCann and Dodds of Rangers have already been cautioned. Tugai. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. He did the hard part.
Yeah, he makes this look very bad. Watch, nice move and terrible shot. I mean, that is just, for a game like this to be doing something like that.
Most Turkish player we've ever had here in Scotland. Said the other day he's very excited at the prospect of facing Galatasaray, his old club, in the Champions League. Rangers in the group with Galatasaray, Monaco and Sturm Graz of Austria. Two guys pass. Paddy Ferguson. They're all working for one another, the Celtic defenders, Stubbs, Valgaeren and Mahe. Larson. And Bronkhorst wins the throw. It came off the Swede, Henrik Larsson. And Celtic really taking the game to a Rangers team. It's been dominant in recent Old Firm encounters. Winning 15 of the last 25 Old Firm games all told.
I think what you're looking at, you know, when you look, we talked about failed to score 6 of 10 for Rangers, failed to score 11 of 20. I mean, that is just incredible, and they got off to a roaring start here because Rickson was so bad, but Rangers have settled down much more now that they've gone the Ricksons out of there.
Reina. Ahead of Wallace. Paddy Ferguson. Pressure on Van Bronckhorst. As we said earlier, is playing at left back.
And we've been asked the question for a long time what Rangers were doing signing Contelman at all. And I think some of the Ranger fans are going to have to start asking the same question, Derek, because I don't think he's going to make it. We didn't think he would make it when they signed him. And we said it many times on our Dutch coverage, and now that he's here, I don't think he's going to make it.
They paid £4.5 million for a signature. You're watching the Old Firm game here on ESPN. Celtic leading Rangers 3-0. Sutton, Petrov, Lambert with the goals. Derek Ray, Tommy Smith here in the commentary box. The highly charged Celtic Park. 30 minutes have elapsed. Ravchik. Feta. Away by Amoruso. Paddy Ferguson tidying up. Just in front of the Rangers back four. Confident play by Amoruso. Contelman. A little bit ambitious on his part. And then a sclaff by Henrik Larsson.
I didn't know Swedish guys could sclaff. Is that only when they play in Scotland, or do they sclaff whenever they are in the rest of the world?
No, only when they sign for SPL clubs.
Okay. Good news for the SPL is, of course, that the sponsors have signed on for another year as well.
Bank of Scotland.
That's where you have your money, right?
Of course.
Okay. Boy, you got plenty of it, I know.
You know too that I'm an Aberdonian, right?
Aberdonians, well, they got lots of oil money in Aberdonian pockets.
There's Dodds and Petrov and a scrap. It's very messy. Petrov goes down. And caught by both Reina and Vidmar. Watch it again, Tommy.
A little bit of pushing here, a little bit of, I don't know, I'm not sure that I'd give him a free kick in that situation.
With Sutton with 4 goals in his first 4 games for Celtic. Stefan Klos, German goalkeeper for Rangers. He was dicing with death. Reina. It's a bad first touch by Wallace, wasn't it?
Wallace hasn't been able to get a touch on the ball at all here in the first half, Derek. The one previous opportunity he had, it was a very weak shot as well.
Rangers, of course, depending very heavily on Billy Dodds, who scored in every single game this season. Contelman looking cumbersome again. Larsson. Back to Peta. Larsson off the pitch, staying off for the moment.
What is Peta doing? I mean, they heard a keepy up, that's keepy downy.
He's toying with Vidmar. And just cross. Kamara trying to head it down. Away goes McCann.
That's the man who could change things. Oh, what a tackle.
They really are fighting for every 50-50 ball. Petrov went in then. McNamara as well. Sutton now. Contelman. Back to Stefan Klos. Not the last time Celtic defeated Rangers. They did so in emphatic fashion, 5-1.
Ravchik scored 2 goals in that, and it was his first Old Firm game. I'm sure he must have said to himself, this is going to be brilliant, but he has gone through here today. He's gotten a goal in this one as well.
Rangers have lost only 2 of their last 30 away games. But they have it all to do here. Kunterman. I think his 5th consecutive start in the SPL. Amarusa. Has missed out 2 guy. And Bronkhorst caught initially. It's Lambert on the right, weaving pretty patterns against Neil McCann.
That ball was out.
Will be a Rangers ball.
Lambert with a couple of brilliant moves. He's walking a tightrope down along this right touchline. Watch him move, and himself and McCann get tangled up here. The ball is out.
Despite the best efforts of Paul Lambert. Here they come again. Larson in the middle. Stefan Klos. Petar. Larson trying to knock it down.
Well, Petar, if you're an Ipswich Town fan, and there's a couple of them around here, including Shaw Brown, it adds insult to injury. I mean, Ipswich Town lost him on the Bosman ruling. They're up in the Premiership, and Petar's having a wonderful year for Celtic. They could certainly use him. He's a brilliant-looking player out there. If he could keep this, Lambert, I think Lambert could be in trouble, Derek. Lambert's down again.
Yes, Brian Scott, the Celtic physio, is out there to administer treatment. Bad news for Martin O'Neill. And also dreadful news for Craig Brown, the Scotland manager who's watching. That's what happened, Tommy.
Oh, Lambert, look at his dogged determination to get this ball. He gets nicked a couple of times, and then when he goes down, I think this is where the problem happened for him. He had pulled something earlier when he got hit pretty hard, and you can see from the position of the ice back that it's just not a nice day for Paul Lambert.
And he'll be replaced by the Swede Johan Mjällby. Mjällby made his debut for Celtic back in November of 1998 when they destroyed Rangers 5-1.
He's back in that Swedish team. He's going to be playing this coming weekend. Sweden have a big game. Azerbaijan.
Celtic will have to go the rest of the way, minus Paul Lambert.
And this was the one thing we talked about. Craig Brown had said, you know, that he was scared that something would happen like that. Lambert is a pretty innovative midfielder to lose. You know my feeling about Lambert. I always had a great feeling when he played with Borussia Dortmund.
Ferguson. Nothing is going right here for Rangers, and Advocat knows it.
Very inept play that. Advocate had blistered the paint on the dressing room at half-time.
Rangers fans not especially happy with life.
No.
World Cup qualifying to come. Next weekend, the Ukraine against Poland. You can join Mike Hill and Seamus Mallon for all the action. Should be an intriguing contest. First qualifier for both countries. Dodds off balance. Gus Valgaeren shepherding the ball over the byline. Valgaeren and Bert Kunterman, staying in the same Glasgow hotel, actually become close friends in the last few weeks. Only Dodds showing his frustration.
One of the big question marks was how would Valgaeren handle Billy Dodds. I think you can see how he's handled him. Just pushed him out of the way.
Barry Ferguson. Reina. Lamar at right back now. Number Rickson replaced by Tugai. Ferguson. There's Van Bronckhorst. Agreed by Jackie McNamara. Mjällby. So strokes it back to Stefan Klose.
Oh, you don't want to do that.
Chris Sutton running towards you. Amaruso, a bad mistake. Moravcik for Larsson. Sutton. Amaruso tries to atone, but it's Moravcik. Feeling for the corner kick.
And he gets it.
He does indeed.
Moravcik with a nice move. Chris Sutton here. Moravcik pushes the ball through. You're going to see there it just takes the touch. I mean, it's just the slightest little touch. Contelman knocks it out.
Martin O'Neill must be delighted with this first half performance. Moravcik's corner. Andy Ferguson got a sent to the ball. McCann. Wallace. And the quick switch for Tugai. McCann. Rod Wallace chiseling away. And could it be Claudio Reyna? Appealing that the ball was over the line. Jonathan Gould was back there, and it's given.
Well, this one's very close. Very, very close. Watch Jonathan Gould coming to the back post. Nice move here by Rod Wallace. Switches the ball across. Rain is coming into the back post. You be the judge. Is this ball over the line? I don't think so. I don't think the ball is over the line. Watch Rod Wallace swing it back across into the middle. Claudio Reyna's on the back post. Watch as he goes down. That ball's not over the line. That ball wasn't completely over the line for my money. From the angle we're at, now that ball is not over the line. There's some of it still sitting on the line, but the goal is going to count. Be a little bit of controversy about that one.
I tend to agree, Tommy. It's hard to see it exactly from our vantage point.
It looked like he used the post, Derek, to keep the ball out of the net. Well, that could be the lifeline the Rangers need.
Claudio Reyna's first goal in an Old Firm match, hauling Rangers back into contention. Van Bronckhorst with the throw. Andy Ferguson, now Wallace, and he's offside. It won't count. He was offside.
Well, that must be a wake-up call for Celtic. They allowed Rod Wallace to get into a good position again. That's the second time he's cut inside of that side of the box. And look at this. Watch how close this offside call is. Here he's breaking. That's not offside. That ball was not offside. He should have been played. He was played on, and that goal should have counted.
So a real let-off for Celtic. Larsson touching it on. Sutton, and Bobby Petta's in. It's Petta, and it's Larsson. And he knows he should have buried it.
Once again, Bobby Petta causing all the problem. Little bit of a flick on here by Larsson. Sutton flicks it into Petta. Petta can't get the touch on it, and Larsson misses easily. Watch Petta, does very well here. Tries to flick it by the keeper. Larsson's coming, he's off balance. He slipped as he hit the ball.
Hope you'll stay with us at half-time here on ESPN. We'll take a look at Rangers in Europe and their bid to make it into the Champions League group stage. Plus some of the first half highlights. Bill McCann is the latest player down.
Jackie McNamara may make some contact here. He's pushing McCann, and then he tries to head the ball. He heads McCann. Don't think he ever meant to hit him. Watch, he goes for the ball here at this stage. That's where he's going for the ball. McCann doesn't allow the ball to come down to him, and Jackie catches him right on the back of the head.
Well, it's been pulsating stuff in the first half of this Old Firm game. First Old Firm contest of the new SPL season. Andy Ferguson. Offside again, but he does.
That ball dropped in behind Jackie McNamara on the right-hand side is starting to cause Celtic a lot of problems. This time it's clearly an offside call. but it's causing a problem, and Rangers are pretty well onto it. Rod Wallace is coming out into the midfield, Derek, and he's starting to play much better. He's spreading the ball around, and then when he does spread the ball around, he's heading diagonally across in behind Jackie McNamara, and Jackie's not covering him off. It's a good move for Rangers.
Robbie Petta trying to skin Vidmar. Again, Reina forced back into a defensive position. Barry Ferguson couldn't get there, and there was a bit of foul play. Free kick. He really is posing all sorts of problems as Bobby Petta.
Just has so much speed and the ability to take players on. Look at that. I mean, he steps on a dime, he stops it, and he just draws the fouls each time.
Joe Dougal just gave Barry Ferguson a quiet talking to. Going hard by Petrov. Very tidily back to close. Well, I'm biased because this is my home patch, but I have to say, Tommy, there are very few matches around the world that can compare with this one.
Oh, this is incredible. I mean, just the tempo of the game and the spirit with which it's been played, it's just unbelievable.
Tugai. This is McCann. Chipping away at Yalby. Did well. Petrov. The confident young Bulgarian. Scored the second Celtic goal. Kontaman.
You could hear a few boos echoing up as Kontaman got the ball.
We will have 4 minutes of stoppage time this first half. Ferguson fouled by Sutton.
Well, I think you're taking into account the two Lambert situations where he was injured. I'd say 4 minutes is pretty fair. He probably doesn't think so.
McNamara snapping at the heels of Neil McCann.
Well, Jackie coming out to cover McCann and hit him just as he hit the ball.
Wallace. Reina, who scored the Rangers goal. Good ball by Reina. Ferguson failed to deliver it to Rod Wallace.
Ferguson tries to float it down the middle. Rod Wallace gets a bit of a touch as he comes inside. Nicely set up here. I think it's just a case of Wallace falling over his own feet, but Barry Ferguson, that's not a very good pass. They weren't on the same page.
He's had a very poor first half, in actual fact, Barry Ferguson. And Bronkhorst. But this is by no means in the bag for Celtic.
Well, these things are never in the bag until the 90 minutes are up.
With the astonishing match a few seasons ago, Celtic led 2-0 at Ibrox. Frank McAvenny and Chris Woods had been sent off. Rangers, with Graham Roberts in goal, came storming back in the second half to equalise right at the death through Richard Gough. Tugai. Now Claudio Reina, the shooting chance. Blocked by Mahe. Back it comes. Billy Dodds, and he couldn't keep it in play. Goal kick. McCann was in the thick of the action as well.
Well, you can see the ball floated across towards the back post. A little bit of a flick on here. It should have been dealt with in the middle, but instead it's over the byline.
Goals in 29 games for Rangers since Billy Dodds joined. Now we've almost had the 4 minutes of stoppage time. Larson, Sutton, Kontaman, there to sweep up. Open under by Van Bronckhorst. against Wallace. And Peta really throwing himself around. Bobby Peta, one of the players of this first half, without any shadow of a doubt. And Bronkhorst on the left. And that will be all for the first half. Martin O'Neill's team led 3-0 inside 12 minutes. Chris Sutton with the first strike, then Stilian Petrov, and after that Paul Lambert, who has since left because of injury. But just 4 minutes from the break, Claudio Reyna was getting Rangers on target. Controversially, the question was, did the ball go over the line? An incredible first half here at the Old Firm game. Celtic 3, Rangers 1 is the score.
You are my adversary, but you are not my enemy. For your resistance gives me strength. Your will gives me courage. Your spirit ennobles me. And though I aim to defeat you, should I succeed, I will not humiliate you. Instead, I will honor you. For without you, I am a lesser man.
Plays it perfectly, Jim. We've talked about the shot here at 18. You must carry the ball at least to the hole or perhaps behind. He does just that and brings it right back.
Second shot. Went out on the front side yesterday and shot 29, and it could have been lower with shots like this.
Something for everyone on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Welcome back to ESPN's Classic Football. We're at half-time of this Old Firm derby between Rangers and Celtic. Clearly the two best teams in the history of the Scottish League. Celtic have won 38 league titles, including the last two seasons, while Rangers have been league champions 49 times, with 12 of those coming in the last 16 years. Stay with us for a look back at the first half highlights and then the second half right here on ESPN's Classic Football.
The superstars of the ATP head to the Great North for the Tennis Masters Series Canada. Led by Leighton Hewitt, Gustavo Kuerten, Juan Carlos Ferraro, Andre Agassi, and Pete Sampras. The Masters Series resumes from Toronto. The Tennis Masters Series Canada, beginning July 29th on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Don't miss the World's Strongest Man competition every week on ESPN.
Who are the 5 greatest cricketers of all time? What has made them stand out from other talented players? Find out in ESPN's Legends of Cricket. the definitive story of the game's all-time greats. Never before has there been such a comprehensive television history of cricket, featuring rare archival footage, hundreds of interviews and thousands of hours of meticulous research. ESPN's Legends of Cricket profiles the top 50 players of all time, with an entire program devoted to each of the top 25. Who will make the list? Who will be left out? This landmark series is controversial, thought-provoking, and utterly compelling television. It's the story of our national game as it's never been told before. Don't miss ESPN's Legends of Cricket.
We'll have a look at the highlights from the first half, and then we'll rejoin our match, and we'll see if Celtic can give Martin O'Neill, their new manager, his first victory in one of the Old Firm games.
News of the week during Wire to Wire, only on ESPN. ESPN goes spanning the globe in July to bring you the world of sports. Relive some of the great moments of the past season in football when ESPN presents the best of the UEFA Champions League. And from the Scottish Premier League, Old Firm Derby Week. Motorsports is in high gear with 3 races from the IRL. All eyes will be in Los Angeles for the 2002 ESPY Awards. The WNBA showcases its finest players in the WNBA All-Star Game. The legends of golf compete in the Senior PGA with tournament play all month long. Go on board with ESPN cameras for the Vawa Ocean Race. The Tennis Masters Series continues from Toronto. Relive some of the great games from the past season from the Italian Serie A with Italian Derbies Week. Great action this July on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Revisit the classic matches and legendary events that have shaped the sporting world. Whether an instant replay of a recent cracker or the profile of a legend, ESPN traces the legacy of sport throughout time. The heroes, the history, the classics. ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Rangers are up against it here in the Old Firm game. It's all smiles for the Celtic contingent. 3-1 here at Parkhead. A huge crowd on hand this Sunday afternoon. Celtic trying to make it 5 wins from 5 games to begin the season, and what a start. Just 1 minute into the match, Larsson shot, and then Chris Sutton, his 4th goal since joining the club.
Chris Sutton gets a very fortunate break here because he was, no doubt about it, he's offside. He's offside now when the ball is played to him. He comes back to retrieve the ball and he scores a good goal and it stands up.
Celtic weren't finished, again from the corner kick. Stilian Petrov wasn't picked up. Shocking marking by Rangers. Second goal this season for the Bulgarian, and then with 12 minutes on the clock, Bobby Petta started this move. The delightful flick to Lubo Moravcik. Watch this twist and turn, intelligently back for Paul Lambert. 3-0.
Great move here by Moravcik. He's down, he's on the ground. He still has the presence of mind to look and see what's happening. Look, and he goes down. A little bit fortunate there that he does get the touch on the ball. Ferguson went down as well and Lambert buried him.
But then 4 minutes from the break, Claudio Reyna with the header. Was it over the line? We had our doubts.
Well, there's going to be controversy over this one. It's very difficult to tell. Very difficult to tell. It looks to me like it's not over the line. All of the ball has to be over the line. The way the goalkeeper's covering it, impossible to tell, but they've got to go.
Rangers actually with the possession edge in the first half, fairly even in terms of shots. But that blistering Celtic opening really took the stuffing out of Rangers.
Well, some of that possession was Conterman playing the ball back to the goalkeeper playing it to him. The back before for Rangers hasn't played really well, and they've improved an awful lot after the first 12 minutes, and they're certainly not out of this game yet.
Now, don't for a second think that this is over. Celtic 3, Rangers 1 is the score. Can Celtic hang on and make it 15 points from 5 games? We'll be back.
The superstars of the ATP head to the Great North for the Tennis Masters Series Canada. Led by Leighton Hewitt, Gustavo Kuerten, Juan Carlos Ferraro, Andre Agassi, and Pete Sampras. The Masters Series resumes from Toronto. The Tennis Masters Series Canada, beginning July 29th on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
A season of excitement awaits you, only on ESPN, your home for extreme sports. ESPN takes you inside the lives of today's athletes every week on The Life.
The Celtic supporters are in great voice, and why not? 3-1 to the home side in this Old Firm game, the first of the new season. And plenty to shout about in the opening 12 minutes. Celtic building up a 3-0 lead. County Arena reducing the deficit 4 minutes from the break. Here's the picture at the top of the table. Hibernian go marching on. Hibs defeated St Mirren 2-0 yesterday.
Hibs in a very happy position. They're going to play Celtic in 2 weeks when they come back from action after the World Cup qualification, and they know no matter what Celtic does today, Hibs are going to be in first place when they take on Celtic that day.
So it could well be a top of the table clash, first versus second here at Parkhead on the 9th of September. No changes made by either team. Let's see a couple of substitutions in the first half, with Rickson replaced by Dick Advocat. Two-guy coming in. Paul Lambert had to leave because of a groin injury. His place taken by Johan Mjällby.
He must be very doubtful now for Scotland's game next weekend.
Only time will tell. I'm sure Craig Brown is a worried man. He's watching here on the main stand. Waiting for the signal from referee Stuart Dougal, and a very important second half here for both sides. Rangers did show signs of life toward the end of the first half in a way that could be troublesome for Celtic. 3-1 is the score. Tony Vidmar, the Australian, filling in at right back now. County Arena fouled by Peta. Challenged by Vidmar. Receiving the official attendance, 59,476. On this Sunday afternoon, Moravcik. Amoruso's there to slow him down. And Lubo Moravcik caught the Italian.
Well, when you consider Celtic bought him for £300,000, what a bargain he was. Amoruso stepping in over this one, and he just got clicked by the feet.
He's 35 now, is Lubo Moravcik. Sutton, hounded by Van Bronckhorst, who came all the way over from left fullback. Vidmar pushing by Larsson. Danny Ferguson. Two-guy, the Turkish international, thwarted by Josip Algarin. I think Belgium was effective in a quiet way. 45 minutes.
You know, I was asking about the 3 goals that were scored quickly by Celtic, and I was saying, was it the quickest ever? And kind of thinking back to 1986, was it, when Celtic led 3-1 and McStay was put off. Fraser scored 2 goals for Rangers. They came back and tied the score up at 4 apiece. So you can never rule these ones out, believe me. But that point was very valuable because that was the 1 point that Celtic won the championship at that year.
I remember that classic 4-4 draw. Now Peta has missed out Larsson, and Chris Sutton, who was off to the right. Van Bronckhorst. George doing the trapping. Tugai. The combative Reina. He'll be chasing him. Tony Vidmar. Bobby Peta. Very sure in the challenge, and he was elbowed by Reina.
Oh, Bobby Peta's having some game for himself. Look at this tackle on Vidmar. Maybe he's a little bit lucky. He took his eye off the ball for a moment and the foot caught it. Remember him, Reggie Blinker. He couldn't get onto the team with Reggie Blinker when he was with Feyenoord. And now here he is. He turns out to be a star. I know he didn't have a great start with Ipswich, but he's certainly proven himself here.
Vidmar almost got tangled up. Barry Ferguson. Barachek's pass. Larsson runs into Amoruso. 3 minutes into the second half, Celtic leading 3-1. This tense Old Firm encounter. Barachek. Yalby, the holding man in midfield now. Amoruso. Oh, Yalby right in front of referee Stuart Dougal.
Oh, he just walked into it. Amoruso is having his way with Larsson, and you'd imagine that with Celtic leading 3-1, you'd be saying to yourself, okay, Larsson's having a good game. But Larsson's really not having a very good game out there.
Here's Tugai for Rangers. The enterprising run by Van Bronckhorst. Here's Valganen. Allen stands by his side, standing firm.
Valganen and Stubbs have been put on a lot of pressure by Wallace. Wallace was non-existent for 15 minutes. But in the last half hour of the first half, I thought he played very well.
There's Tugai. This is Van Bronckhorst, forcing Jonathan Gould into action.
Once again, Wallace on the doorstep.
Sutton knocked it down for Larsson. Surely another Celtic goal would finish the game, and it's Larsson, and it's spectacular. That was Larsson at his mischievous best.
Well, I said that he wasn't playing well, but when you play against Conterman, I guess there's always an opportunity for you to play well. Look at Larsson come here, and he blows by Conterman. Look at this, look at that for a chip. What a beautiful goal. Conterman's taken to the cleaners. Watch this, right between his legs. Conterman has no idea where his countryman went, and Larsson, that is an incredible finish. I mean, he still had a bit of work to do here, Derek. We saw him in the first half, he missed the sitter like that, and this time he doesn't miss it.
Well, we have to say, dreadful defending by Conterman, but a sparkling finish by Henrik Larsson. You can't argue with that. 4-1 Celtic.
Well, I said at half-time I had the feeling that Celtic might score again. And there's still a feeling that Rangers may score again as well.
That sort of afternoon. But serious questions really have to be asked about Conterman.
Oh, we have asked those questions for a long time. I couldn't for one believe that Dick Advocate wanted him. I mean, the first man that surprised me that wanted him was Alex Ferguson, because I have no idea what anybody has seen in Conterman. For me, he is not a good defender.
Well, you've been consistent for some time with that stance. Reina. There's a hand spotted by Stuart Dougal. Rangers free kick. Reina. Here's Vidmar. Amaruso. The captain. Offside flag is up. Flicked on by Billy Dodds. Wallace was running to his left.
Just good call there. Just stepped offside. You got to be careful where that last man is.
Busy weekend of World Cup qualifying to come. It's next week here on ESPN. Iceland versus Denmark. And that game from Reykjavik for you. Check your local listings for the exact times in your area. Van Bronckhorst. This is Moravcik. And they're coming at Rangers from all angles now. Corner kick off Claudio Reyna. Petrov really has impressed the Celtic faithful this season with a strong box-to-box play.
He's got some engine, hasn't he? Look at Martin O'Neill. It's a long way from Wycombe Wanderers where he started out in the Vauxhall, isn't it now?
O'Neill shouting that Bobby Petta should take the corner kick. And now here's the switch.
When O'Neill wants it, O'Neill gets it, believe me.
Stubbs is in the middle. Petta with it. McMarson tried to get his head to the ball. And the counter-attack is on for Rangers. And McCann changing wings. And a good ball by McCann. See if it falls for Ron Wallace. Appeals for a penalty, and it's been given. It's a penalty for Rangers. Stefan Mahe collided with Ron Wallace.
Wallace gets inside of him here, and for some reason Mahe decides to go up over the top of him. Look at that, and he just gives him a little dunt down in the box. I don't think you can have too many complaints, but I think it was a very foolish play. I mean, there was no question about it that Wallace was inside.
So Billy Dodds, who has scored in every single game for Rangers this season, he's done it again. Rangers are still alive.
We talked about money in the bank for Aberdonians. This is money in the bank for an Aberdonian as Billy Dodds just blasts this one in. No pressure on him at all. He just steps up, never looks at where the keeper is. He has his mind made up where he's going to put the ball and let the rest pieces fall where they may.
7 goals this season in the SPL for Billy Dodds. Get out to that 2 in the Champions League preliminary round. And Celtic have decided to go to the bench. And Tom Boyd, veteran defender, will replace Lubo Moravcik. And I wonder, Tommy, if that means a switch to 4 at the back.
I would imagine so, and Martin O'Neill is saying now that, you know, we have a 2-goal lead. We're going to try to hold on to it a little bit more. He's bringing it a little bit more on the defensive end of things.
Dougal not happy with the fact that a few Rangers players are inside the centre circle. And they have indeed gone to 4 at the back. Boyd joining Bulgarin, Stubbs and Mahe. Mahe is now an orthodox left fullback. Jackie McNamara doing the pushing.
Jackie's not having one of those days that we would come to expect from Jackie McNamara. He's had a few problems on that right-hand side today.
Celtic now have McNamara, Mialbi, Petrov and Petta in midfield. Petta wide on the left. Larson and Sutton up front. Touch of Kipiapi from Tugai. Paddy Ferguson. And just trying to string the passes together. Given away by Petta. Tony Vidmar. Providing a bit of bite. And he was fouled by Petta.
Oh, came dangerously close to giving up another PK. Watch him move close to the box here. He's heading towards the box. Mialbi's coming across, and he just pushed him and clipped him at the same time.
It's the double push. Mialbi on one side, Petta on the other. Let's see if Rangers have a trick up their sleeve. Amoruso beside Reina and Van Bronckhorst. And the goal shouting at Jackie McNamara. It's Van Bronckhorst.
Van Bronckhorst hits it well, but never was in any danger of troubling the keeper. Was taken off all the time. Never showed any signs of dipping down. He just came up underneath it. Made the Celtic fans happy, didn't it? I think some of them thought it was a point. So many of them Irish down there. I don't mean the ones you drink. I mean the ones that goes over the bar in Gaelic football.
Well, you do hear the odd Irish accent if you ever make your way into the Celtic shop.
Just an odd one.
Yeah.
A few Dutchmen around too.
Grim-faced looking Dick Advocaat. He's normally grim-faced when they're winning.
Yeah, he never changes his expression, does he?
Almost 13 minutes into the second half. Tom Boyd's throw for Celtic. Lassen. McNamara. Looking for the free kick. Joust with Amoruso. And Bronckhorst, meanwhile, is down.
Watch the 2 feet come in here. Ooh, that one was nasty. McNamara coming in with the 2 studs showing. Oh, Jackie's lucky that he doesn't go on the book for that one. Very, very late coming in and caught him with the 2 feet.
A concern here in Rangers ranks. Because Van Bronckhorst is in no hurry to return to his feet. This match has had its fair share of talking points. The debate continues between Amoruso and Stuart Dougal. And one of the controversial incidents came just before half-time. Claudio Reina's header at the far post, but was the ball over the line, Tommy?
Well, this is the one we're looking at here. That's the Rod Wallace one to see if he was offside, and he certainly wasn't offside, and he banged it in. That goal should have stood.
I beg your pardon, I led you to the wrong piece of videotape there. I thought we were going to see the Claudio Reina goal that, from our vantage point, did not appear to go over the line. Vidmar, confirmation that McNamara was booked just seconds ago.
Well, I don't think you can have too many complaints. That was a pretty nasty tackle.
2 guys flick, there's Reina. 4 bookings apiece now, handed out by Stuart Dougal, 2 for each team. McCann trying to put the wind up on Tommy Boyd.
Tommy Boyd, one of those players, you can take him in a situation like this. He's not going to panic. Good utility player, very high standard.
But he does. Shuffling for space. Bronckhorst just dragged it too far forward. 60 minutes on the clock. You're watching the Bank of Scotland SPL here on ESPN. It's the Old Firm game. We're coming to you from Celtic Park. And look at that list of goal scorers. Celtic led 3-0. Also led 4-1, but now it's 4-2. Billy Dodds reducing the deficit from the spot. In the commentary box, Derek Ray and Tommy Smith. Scottish-Irish combination for this occasion as Penta goes down.
Kind of appropriate, isn't it? Not that he went down, the Scottish-Irish combination. See that nasty-looking boot coming in again. Vidmar catches him and doesn't make any attempt to pull out of it. I'd give a card in that because he makes no attempt to pull out of the tackle. He had plenty of time to pull out of it, Derek, and instead he just lunges forward and he catches him good. I have no sympathy for players who lunge like that.
So Brian Scott does the honours once again. 21 fouls altogether. Louis van Gaal surveying the scene.
Louis having a good look, isn't he? A lot of his countrymen out there playing today.
Now in charge of the Dutch national team.
He's saying to himself, how did Rijkaard have Kantelman on that Dutch squad and expect to win Euro 2000? Sorry.
Belby. And the World Cup of steam. McNamara. Albi. Marusa seemed to catch the big Swede.
Just as he was about to pull away, Mialbi gets caught. And Bronkhorst coming in figures that Mialbi fouled him, but the foul had been committed. Watch, right here, there, he just catches him when he goes to go away.
It's a wholehearted competitor as Johan Mialbi, a newspaper salesman in Stockholm. Before he went full-time with AIK. Now Penta's free kick. Henrik Larsson has done it again.
Has really come alive here in the second half. A beautiful header. The man who was the player of the year the 98-99 season. Look at that for placement. Brilliantly rises to it. The set ball situation has absolutely killed Rangers here today. 3 of the goals have come from set ball situations. And Larsson, I must say, is enjoying a much better second half than he did the first half.
2 goals for Henrik Larsson. Criminal defending by Rangers. I'm sure if their Champions League opponents, Galatasaray, Monaco and Sturm Graz, are monitoring this game, they're rubbing their hands with glee. And Bronkhorst. That's Barry Ferguson. Reina. Turgay was unable to control the ball. Henrik Larsson, the man who missed most of last season, broke his leg in 2 places. That match against Lyon in the UEFA Cup. He's back with a bang this term.
Well, you know, we saw him in the United States in '94 with that Swedish team that finished 3rd in the World Cup. And we knew at that stage, Derek, he had great possibilities. I said earlier at 3-1, no Larsson on the scoreboard. It didn't look like it was the way Celtic should be playing. But now it does. He's added the 2 goals and he's made it the 5-2.
He dawns. So Rangers on course for the first defeat of the season. Penta. Interman cutting it out. Whitmore. No doubt about it, they badly miss Jörg Alberts to Rangers.
No bit of imagination in midfield at all. Barry Ferguson is not at the races.
Kanchelskis is warming up. I'm surprised, Tommy, we didn't see Kanchelskis earlier.
Yeah, I thought he might have taken him on at half-time, put him over on that right wing. He had a little bit of speed over there. To go with the skill that he has.
Made Penta think a little bit more. Whitmore looking horns with Penta. There's Kanchelskis. Talking tactics with Bert van Lingen, Rangers assistant manager. And Whitmore is the man who's going to be withdrawn. And that should mean Reina moving to right fullback. And Kanchelskis playing in a more attacking role wide on the right.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the change that Dick Advocaat was talking about.
Billy Dawes waits. Sven Bronkhorst with a free kick. Easy take for Jonathan Gould. He's actually impressed me in this match, Jonathan Gould.
Yeah, he's had a very good match. That one play where he looked a little bit dicey when the ball fell very short to him, but he hasn't put a foot wrong really.
He was excellent last week over at Tynecastle as well. Bright sunshine now here at Parkhead. The sun is shining on Celtic. Choruses of joy echo around Celtic Park. Midway through the second half, 5-2 to Celtic. Amarusa. Chase for Gio van Bronckhorst. Good skill by Neil McCann. Keep that attack alive. McCann confronted by both Boyd and Mjolby.
Well, in England tonight, Scottish managers, I think here they may canonise O'Neill with this victory. If we could keep going, the Celtic fans would definitely canonise him, Derek.
His three immediate predecessors unable to win at the first time of asking against Rangers in their first Old Firm matches. John Barnes last season, before him Josef Venglos, before Venglos, Wim Jansen. Sutton trying to turn it out towards the touchline. Chelskis to remain wide on the right.
Kind of a story advocate. I mean, didn't become interested in football until he was 23 years of age when he started to play. I mean, he really took it up at a late age, didn't he? Ben Hocker, the same thing. We have a couple of men from that region that took it up very, very late in life and have been very successful.
Nice pass. Wallace and Dodds together. Deep Dodds is at the moment. Reina. Van Bronckhorst. Two guys trying to split up with the defence to no avail. Away by Valgara. Reina. So trying to keep it on the ground. Two guys. McCann trying to play it through the defence.
Well, the four at the back now for Celtic has taken that wide game away from Rangers, and it has also solidified up the middle because they're dropping the two midfielders back, and it's just a forest of bodies there trying to get through on the edge of the 18-yard box.
Celtic's last home defeat was against Rangers back in March. Since then they've gone 9 home matches without losing. On course to make it 10. Barry Ferguson, the dummy by Wallace. Ferguson looking for the free kick. It'll go Celtic's way in actual fact. He's refereed this match fairly sensibly, Stuart Dougal.
Well, he certainly kept the lid on it, and it's one of those games that could have come out anywhere. I think that was a harsh call against Barry Ferguson. I think he's saying that he handled the ball when he was knocked down.
Next Sunday you can see Estonia versus Portugal live, World Cup qualifying match. Portugal, who made such an impact at Euro 2000. Really a tricky opening fixture for them in Tallinn.
And an equally tricky one after that, playing the Republic of Ireland. That should be twice as tricky for them.
I thought you might get that in. 20 minutes to go. Celtic 5, Rangers 2. Incredible Old Firm match being played out here at Parkhead. Larsson slip it through to Sutton. Celtic looking for the corner kick.
They're going to win it too.
And the instructions coming thick and fast from Martin O'Neill.
1982, the World Cup in Spain. That was O'Neill's glory days, weren't they?
Northern Ireland give a magnificent account of themselves. Bentas corner. Also got his head to it. Larsson. Close is there.
Close also a bargain, wasn't he? £700,000. Actually, you might say he was a Christmas present because they signed him on Christmas Eve.
So yes, he's committed to staying with Rangers for the next 2 seasons at least. Neil McCann. To pop it onto the head of Billy Dodds. Once again, it's McCann. space. Valgarin. Larsson's control let him down. He's had a superb game, Henrik Larsson. 2-goal contribution from the Swede. Deafening noise being generated by the Celtic supporters now.
I think the Celtic supporters would like to say that they're singing, Derek, but it's not noise.
And on course, deflection, corner kick. From the Dutch international, Tugai traps it. Kanchelski's.
It's nearly his first touch.
Andy Ferguson back to Tugai. The link man in midfield. It's a good ball for Dodds. And he turned on a sixpence and it went just a couple of inches wide.
One thing that Dodds hasn't had all day is service. And when he gets it, you can see how dangerous he is. Look at, he carves out a little bit of a spot for himself inside, turns around. Not sure that the keeper wouldn't have known too much about it. Watch this, he just gets inside, very, very quick on that turn.
That's why they call him Deadly Doddsy.
You just wonder about goal. I mean, when goal came across here, Marshall and Kerr were in front of him. And everybody said, okay, this year Bosnich was going to be in front of him. I mean, he's under pressure just to hold the job without playing at all.
Another bad challenge, spotted by Stuart Dougal.
Barry Ferguson's the man who committed it. He's telling saying, come on, get up, it wasn't such a bad challenge. Oh, I think it was a pretty bad one, Barry.
Stilian Petrov taken out.
Look at that was late.
Stuart Dougal has another card in his pocket that he produces. It's 5 in the game altogether, 3 for Rangers, Ferguson, McCann and Dodds. Kamara and Moravchik of Celtic have also been cautioned.
Watch that late foot coming in.
For permission to return.
Oh, the choir are in great shape today. Of course, a lot of people forget that Celtic were the first British team to win a Champions League or a European Cup. Call it what you want in those days. They were the first team that ever did it.
That was back in 1967.
Lisbon Lions.
A team of 11 Scotsmen. Managed by the legendary Jock Stein. A little bit towsy just at the moment. And there might well be another booking. And Bronkhorst again felling Petrov.
Petrov just bullying his way through here, more or less putting his head down, and eventually gets taken out of it by Van Bronckhorst, but Petrov just kept mulling along there.
No yellow card for Gio Van Bronckhorst. Larsson runs off to one side, and it will be Stilian Petrov, the Bulgarian, having a go. Konterman looking very sloppy indeed. Larsson. Really looks like a cart horse at times, doesn't he, Bernd Konterman?
Certainly does. Clydesdale at that.
Yeah. Bentar. Jousting with Barry Ferguson. And it's been very physical, no great surprise there.
Barry Ferguson again. I think Barry's just a little bit frustrated. This is almost like a tackle that you'd see in Murrayfield rather than here.
Neil McCann leaves the match and is replaced by Peter Löwenkratz, the £1.5 million signing from AB Copenhagen. And his debut in the last SPL match against Dunfermline. His brother Tommy, thanks for St Johnstone, had actually scored yesterday. A 1-1 draw with Kilmarnock. Larsson. Struck forward by Mjelde. Michalski's watching him like hawks. Well, he has come onto a game as Bobby Petta.
Takes a bit of watching, doesn't he?
Celtic anxious to add to their total. Lahe is pushed up. Well, then 3 matches were played yesterday. Dunfermline now have 8 points. Steve Crawford with the winner against Dundee United. Hibernian are the leaders. Stuart Lovell with a double. St Mirren go down 2-0 at Easter Road. As we said, Tommy Löwenkrantz scoring for St Johnstone. Andy McLaren replied for Kilmarnock. A 1-1 draw. Very poor match that in the second half at McDermott Park. Side flag is up. 2 other games to come today. Dundee against Hearts up at Dens Park. And over at Fir Park, Motherwell against Aberdeen.
Aberdeen trying to recover from that defeat during the week by Bohemians. Mind you, Bohemians just held on. Aberdeen got a goal. Bohemians down a man. Looked like Aberdeen were going to nick them, but they just held on.
It's Aberdeen actually winning the match, but losing overall on away goals. They really deserve to go through, I have to admit.
Always got a nice draw of it against Kaiserslautern, didn't he?
Play on, says Stuart Dougal. Celtic still in the UEFA Cup. They'll face HJK of Finland. Now then, action called for surely by Stuart Dougal. Again, it's Petrov. He's being nailed by Rangers players in rotation. This time it was Claudio Reyna, and he's going to go in the book.
Claudio Reyna, you can see him line the player up that he's going to clatter. Watch this. And he just pushes him and kicks him at the same time.
Petrov is a marked man, Tommy.
Yeah, Rangers have gone to that physical game, and it has cost them, Derek, because if you look at 3 of the goals have come from very foolish free kicks. Rickson give away 2 of them, and Van Bronckhorst give away the other one.
Interestingly, the foul count is very high indeed for an SPL game, 38. You seldom see it get much above 30.
Trying to follow our Brazilian counterparts.
Stuart Dougal is known as a bit of a technical referee.
That's the Oasis man, isn't it?
Liam Gallagher.
That's it, yeah.
I wonder who he's supporting.
I knew it was one of those. Well, I'd say with a name like Gallagher, there's a slight chance that he's probably supporting the green and white.
It's all green and white jubilation here at Paradise, as it's known. It's going to be quite a happy walk along London Road for most of these supporters. A little bit more than 10 minutes left. We're here at Parkhead. Derek Ray, Tommy Smith in the commentary box. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of the first Old Firm match of the season here on ESPN. And there's the scoreboard. 5-2 to Celtic, a double by Henrik Larsson. Rangers' confidence has taken a battering. And Bronkhorst. Tugai. Did well. Ferguson has looked very unsure of himself. And Maruso. There's Löwenkrantz. Ferguson. It's better play from Barry Ferguson. Just as I say that, he slips. He uses his hand.
Surely that's an intentional handball there. I mean, that's a yellow card.
Well, he's been booked already, and so Stuart Dougal says 2 yellows equal a red. And Ferguson knows it. It's the early bat for him, and Rangers' misery is complete.
Hasta la vista, baby. And I don't think he can have too many complaints. I know he's complaining, but you get down on the ball like that and you handle it after you've received the yellow card, you're dicing with danger.
So Ferguson will be out for the next match away to Dundee.
Here he slips on the ball. Look at that. I mean, he just covers the ball up. I mean, it's like he's trying to score a try someplace behind the goal, and you can't have any complaints like that. That's purely intentional. Flagrant. Must be a yellow card. I think the referee did a good job.
It's foolish play by Barry Ferguson. So Rangers are down to 10 men. It's falling apart. And Celtic are on course for a famous victory.
You can tell the lad has loads of skill, but he was so frustrated all day, Derek. I mean, just couldn't get himself into the game. The big hammer wasn't out there beside him to help him out today, and he had to plough a lone furrow, and he got himself very frustrated, and now he gets himself a red card.
Well, I think there are a number of questions that Rangers will have to address. One is, how can they compensate for the absence of Jörg Alberts, if indeed he is to miss a couple of matches? And also, what can they do about the defence? They badly missed Craig Moore. It seems to me that Contaman and Amoruso really aren't a very good combination. They don't play very well together.
Certainly they're not playing very well together so far in the season. And I know people are probably saying, okay, you got to give them a little bit of time. That looked like a handball as well.
It was Amoruso.
That looked like Amoruso put his hand out to handle the ball. But I can't see Contaman getting any better. And I mean, if Alberts is missing in Europe, Rangers are in deep trouble, I feel.
On the other hand, Celtic can take great heart from this performance and the way they've begun the season. Peta.
Yeah, but I think the thing you have to guard against you if you're a Celtic fan is that this is not the season. I mean, this is strictly an isolated case. Celtic have played so well today as they get it ready to bring on a young substitute here.
Martin O'Neill is having discussions.
Burchill looks like he's going to get a call, Derek.
Burchill, not named to the Scotland squad.
I think he should have been, mind you. I'm not trying to pick the team for Craig Brown or anything, but I think this man has lots of potential.
So for a second put on Ayal Berkovic's shirt.
Yeah, he was putting on the wrong shirt, I thought.
He's doing an about turn. Amoruso. And Kloss. Sutton was putting the wind up on him. Kamara.
But just getting back to the Celtic thing, I mean, they would like to play like this every day, but I don't think they're going to. Because these are extra special occasions when you play Rangers.
Kanchelskis. Reina. But he dodges for Kanchelskis. Really hasn't been able to get into the game since coming off the bench. Cross just missed out Ron Wallace.
As I said earlier, the expectations now on Martin O'Neill really grow. I mean, the expectation for the rest of the season, a couple of games in, you beat Rangers 5-2. He looks like he's the new guru to come along, and it's going to make life a little difficult for him now, in particular if Celtic don't play up to this kind of standard.
And they have a tricky test coming up with their next SPL match. That's Hibernian, the shot leaders.
I mean, as everybody knows, there's 2 seasons in Scotland for Celtic or Rangers. When you play in the Championship, when you play either whichever side you're supporting, when Rangers play Celtic or Celtic play Rangers, those are separate.
Amoruso, nobody upfield.
We heard how confident he was before the game, but he doesn't have much of a confident look in him now.
Really winded at the start of this match by that astonishing Celtic beginning. 3 goals in 12 minutes. Yet another chapter in the history. This rivalry is written. Off balance. Peta. Chelski's back there defending. Contaman fancy his chances. Reina was there to intervene.
But for me, the big thing with Celtic was the fact that every time it looked like Rangers were going to get back into the game, Celtic come along and they kill off their chances. And that's really the sign of a good team.
Henrik Larsson will be replaced by Mark Burchill. 2 goals for the Swede. And they love him here at Parkhead.
He's the goal-scoring saviour, isn't he?
And Burchill will come in, young man who asked for a transfer the other week, has been linked with a possible loan move to Preston North End.
Well, I think Martin O'Neill, the shrewd Irishman that he is, he read the contract someplace, and there was something in there that said if he goes on a loan, he can't play again for Celtic for 6 months, and it would rule him out. As O'Neill said, maybe they may be out of Europe at that stage, but maybe they may not be. And O'Neill said, well, we'll hold off just a little while. I don't think he's going on loan anywhere there.
Reina. Stefan Mahe bounding it out of the danger zone.
Burchett had one of the fastest hat-tricks ever in Europe.
Midweek against Jeunesse Desch in a 4-minute spell. Celtic ran out 7-0 winners on the night, 11-0 in aggregate. My goodness, how Aberdeen could have used a couple of those goals. Three minutes left. Wallace. There's two guy for Rangers. Billy Dodds. As he tripped up. First of legs, it's Ron Wallace. Charged down by Mjällby.
Wallace took an eternity to fire the ball that time, and Mjällby got the opportunity to get back and get a body in front of it. It was a little dicey call around the edge of the box there. It could have gone either way. Kaczynski's. This is a Celtic team. Took only 1 point from the Old Firm matches last season. Finished 21 points behind Rangers. Anxious to give it a real go under Martin O'Neill this time around. At the moment it's Dodds. Takes on Stubbs. Good play by Dodds. Now Kaczynski's. And Jonathan Gould to the rescue. Stefan Mahe put himself out of trouble rather effectively. Mitchell challenged by Tugai. Mitchell named by Craig Brown as a member of the under-21 squad. He did say though that if he had injury problems this week he wouldn't hesitate to call upon Mitchell. Well, the fact now that Lambert goes out maybe gives Burchell, if Lambert can't make the squad, he looked like he was in deep trouble. Against Van Bronckhorst. Stay with us for our post-match roundup here on ESPN as we retell the story of the first Old Firm contest of the SPL season. First of the new century too. I thought there was a hand by Petrov. And then the foul. Joshua Garland was the culprit. Bobby Petta has been named the man of the match. I'm just going to ask you, Tommy, for your verdict. I would have said Petta or Petrov. Oh, I would have said Petta. I was very, very impressed with him in the first 15 minutes of the game. Petta was unbelievable. There's Levinkratz. Well, tackling very fierce indeed by Tommy Boyd over on the far side. And he joins the list of players booked by Stuart Dougal. Well, Tommy Boyd coming across, and it's very late. He chops down on him. 7 bookings in this game. The match is ebbing away. We're inside stoppage time. Van Bronckhorst. Amaruso. Goal kick. We'll have 2 minutes of stoppage time all told. A lot of wolf-toned songs sang around Glasgow tonight, Derek. This is certainly a very comprehensive victory for Celtic. Russo, here's Reina. And a very shaky Rangers performance, it must be said. Henrik Larsson capitalising on very shoddy defending, especially by Bert Konteman. Dutchman on the ball now. Reina. Mjällby for Celtic. Celtic have set the heather on fire here in Glasgow on the Sunday afternoon. Mahe joins the attack.
And Chris Sutton has scored again to round off a very stylish victory for Celtic. 5 goals now for Chris Sutton in 4 matches this season.
Watch the ball come across here. Beautiful cross, dropped into the corner as it comes across. Mahe with the cross, and look at Chris Sutton. He just slides into the back. Once again, a lot of questions on the defending, but a great finish by Sutton. Martin O'Neill certainly beginning to look like he made the right choice in bringing Sutton here. A lot of question marks about this man, but he's done the job so far.
The Rangers supporters have seen enough. Heading for the exits, disgusted with this Rangers display.
Waving goodbye to the bucket. This is absolutely incredible, Derek.
I can't remember the last time I saw Rangers outplayed in this fashion in any competition.
Well, I told you at the beginning, without the hammer, Celtics could do the hammering. Didn't realise it'd be 6, but...
Stuart Dougal looks at his watch. Every Celtic touch being cheered with gusto now. And there it is. Celtic under Martin O'Neill have recorded their first Old Firm triumph in almost 2 years. A lot of people fancied Celtic before a ball was kicked, but nobody could have predicted this massacre.
Certainly not. This is an astonishing victory. 6 goals for Celtic. Every one of them played like heroes.
2 goals for Henrik Larsson, 2 as well for Chris Sutton. A standing ovation from the Celtic supporters here at Parkhead. There's the score again. Celtic 6, Rangers 2.
The Calcio. PGA.
In the world of football, the Old Firm Derby here on ESPN's Classic Football.
You know what you're doing? Yep.
This summer, it's the friendship.
Why don't you go grab us some coffee while I do this?
The camaraderie.
Sure thing. How you take it? Black, couple cubes of Kiss My...
And the teamwork that will save the world.
Might I suggest a bigger gun?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Kid, I'll get you trained yet.
Will Smith.
I want one of those.
In a Barry Sonnenfeld film. Men in Black 2, rated PG-13. Now playing in theaters everywhere.
It's an event second only to the America's Cup. It's boat against boat in a non-stop, one-lap, no-rules dash around the planet. It's Swedish Match Grand Prix Sailing on ESPN.
Now, here's a look at what's on ESPN this week. On Wednesday, we take a look back to last year's madness on X Games Classics. On Thursday, Maguire and a host of sluggers knock him out of Fenway Park in a replay of the '99 Home Run Derby. And on Friday, there's more baseball as we bring you classic films of past All-Star games. Then you can see the Dodgers take on the champion Diamondbacks. It's a world of sports every day on ESPN this week.
Catch up on all the WNBA news every week on ESPN.
Delightful touch. Watching, teasing, tormenting. And back it comes. Paul Lambert. I have never seen anything quite like this. Surely another Celtic goal would finish the game. And it's Larsson. And it's spectacular.